What's up guys, Harvick99 here, back with another video. Welcome to part 3 of rating every confirmed 2024 NASCAR Cup Series paint scheme. There's no unchanged paint schemes to cover, so we can get right into it. To start off, we have Joey Logano's Hunt Brothers Pizza paint scheme. They left SHR and are now with Team Penske, and if I'm being honest, it looks wrong seeing a Hunt Brothers Pizza paint scheme not on a number 4 car. It looks wrong with a red 22. Call me biased, but it looks worse here than it does on a number 4 car. 4 out of 10. Next up, we have Bubba Wallace's Columbia paint scheme. Blue on the ends, white in the middle. And towards the back there, the white fades into the blue. And across the white portion of the scheme, there's a bunch of gray stripes. And then you've also got gold side numbers and a blue roof number. And that's the paint scheme. Not a fan of it, to be honest. Just doesn't look good to me. 3 out of 10. Next up, we have Bubba Wallace's McDonald's paint scheme. Way better than last year's paint scheme. I like this one. It looks good. They learned their lesson from last year's paint scheme. Instead of it being mostly gray, it's now half and half between red and can't tell if it's dark gray or black, but it's some dark color. And down the middle, you've got the fry sticking out, which I like that touch. It's a good design. Big step up over last year's paint scheme. 6 out of 10. Next up, we have William Byron's Raptor paint scheme. A bit of a downgrade from last year's paint scheme. Last year's paint scheme was really good, and it was a big step up from whatever the hell the 2022 paint scheme was. The 2024 paint scheme, yeah, not as good as last year's. But it's not the worst thing in the world. I like the little, scratches on the front wheels, and that's really the only compliment I can give to this paint scheme. It's not bad, but it's not good either. 5 out of 10. Next up, we have William Byron's Raptor High Heat paint scheme. Now this is good. I like the flames on the nose of the car. I kind of wish that there were flames everywhere on this car. It'd look a lot better. But, yeah. They should run this as the primary Raptor scheme, in my opinion. Looks way better than the regular scheme. 6 out of 10. Next up, we have William Byron's Valvoline paint scheme. Better than Larson's to an extent. But, yeah, it just doesn't do it for me. I don't like it that much. 4 out of 10. Next up, we have William Byron's Exalta paint scheme. Originally, it had a black box around the Exalta lettering on the side of the car. And it looked bad, but they tweaked the paint scheme a little bit and removed that black square, or black rectangle. So now it's just plain white with black Exalta lettering, and it looks way better, in my opinion. It's great to see the Exalta flames make a return, though I do wish that we could get the OG flames back. But this is a good compromise. 6 out of 10. Next up, we have Daniel Hemrick's Circle paint scheme. Blue around the top and white on the bottom going down the sides. What I like about this paint scheme is the bottle on the fender pouring the liquid onto the side skirt. That's a good design there. And also all the different fruits going down the side of the car. Decent scheme. 6 out of 10. Next up, we have Michael McDowell's Benabone paint scheme. Simple design for this one. It goes from a very light green at the front to a dark green in the back. So a singular green color gradient is the paint scheme. And it looks good. 6 out of 10. Next up, we have Michael McDowell's Margaritaville at Sea paint scheme. I'm assuming this is a cruise line, I guess. And I really like this paint scheme. It looks good. I think right there is supposed to be a beach with all the palm trees, and then you got the sea, the ocean, and then I'm not quite sure what that's supposed to be at the back of the car. It looks like snow-covered mountains to me, but I could be completely wrong. Oh, you know what? It's the same design as the actual cruise ship. I'm just now noticing that. That's really cool. 7 out of 10. Next up, we have the Front Row Motorsports Rudabush paint scheme that's going to be run by both Kaz Grala and Todd Gilliland. I don't really have much to say about this paint scheme other than it looks decent. 6 out of 10. Next up, we have Todd Gilliland's Georgia Peanuts paint scheme. Red on the top, yellow on the bottom. And I think the yellow has the peanut texture going on, which is a really nice touch. I like that. And actually, now that I'm looking at it more closely, I think it's in the actual shape of a peanut. I might be going crazy, but I think the side of the car is supposed to be a peanut. Either way, good paint scheme. 6 out of 10. Next up, we have Todd Gilliland's Frontline Enterprises paint scheme. You've got gray in the front and black in the back, with an orange number to tie it all together. Honestly, I feel like this paint scheme would be better if they based it off the Frontline logo and have it just be a combination of white, orange, and light gray and dark gray, and omit the black. But as it is, it still looks good. 6 out of 10. Next up, we have Todd Gilliland's Generator paint scheme. Black on the ends and red in the middle, with what looks like a silver number. Not sure if it's just a render or if on the actual car it is going to be silver. But from the looks of it, it looks like it's going to have a silver number, which would look really cool out on the track. But either way, decent scheme. 6 out of 10. Next up, we have Todd Gilliland's Sit Guard paint scheme. Mostly red, with a little bit of white going on the hood and around the front wheel, and also on the roof railing. Not sure how to feel about this paint scheme. Just doesn't look good to me. 5 out of 10. Next up, we have Ryan Preece's Haas paint scheme. Disappointed that they didn't bring back last year's paint scheme, because that one was really good. This looks good too, but not as good as last year's, in my opinion. It reminds me of the Silver Haas paint schemes that they ran from 2020 to 2022. As always, SHR does not miss with their paint schemes, and this looked really good. 7 out of 10. Next up, we have Ryan Preece's United Rentals paint scheme. I like it, though the orange highlights do look a little bit weird, since I don't think orange is part of the United Rentals colors. But still, it looks good, even despite the orange highlights. 6 out of 10. Next up, we have John Hunter Nemechek's Dollar Tree paint scheme. What I noticed is that, you see how on the hood, you've got a green stripe going down the middle? That's a tree trunk. And then at the top of the hood, it's tree branches. And they extend throughout the whole paint scheme. That's a really cool design. 6 out of 10. Next up, we have Eric Jones's Family Dollar paint scheme. What this paint scheme needs is a little more red and orange. It just being at the front of the car doesn't do it for me. There's a little bit too much white on this paint scheme, and it brings it down, in my opinion. 5 out of 10. And for our final paint scheme of part 3, we have Eric Jones's Advent Health paint scheme. Mostly white with blue stripes around the front and the back of the car, with some blue and green highlights, for lack of a better term. I like it. Looks decent. 6 out of 10. And that concludes part 3 of rating every confirmed 2024 NASCAR Cup Series paint scheme. What do you think? Do you think some of these should have been rated higher? Do you think some should have been rated lower? How would you rate these paint schemes? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to see more of me, be sure to follow my socials, like my Twitter, my Instagram, my Threads, and join my Discord server. Links to all those are in the description down below. Leave a like on the video, and subscribe to my channel for more motorsports content. Thank you all so much for watching. That's it for me. Peace.